Hey guys, I'm pretty stoked right now. The video you're watching is the first flight of my GEPRC Mark 5 after I repaired it, which is why I'm stoked because I didn't think I was going to be able to do it. I'm really new to FPV and really new to repairing drones. You can understand how that would work. Um, anyways, I had a few weeks ago I was flying at a university nearby, and I had a random fail-safe. I was only maybe about 20 yards up in the air, and it just cut out completely out of nowhere, and it was pretty close. I'd been flying around buildings and stuff, and that was all fine, but when it actually fail-safed, it was very close to me and nothing between us. Um, well, anyways, after I couldn't figure it out, I didn't see anything wrong, so I kept flying, and very shortly after, I had it happen again. I still don't know why, but the second time I was actually yeeting it up in the air, and it was maybe like 50 yards over my head, and it just cut out completely again. And I have no idea where it went. It was, I didn't really, since it was going straight up, I didn't really have a good sense of what direction it would fall. So I kind of like had a moment where I thought it was going to land on my car because I was sitting on my car, and I was like panic mode, and I couldn't find it anywhere though. I spent about half an hour looking around all the buildings, maybe longer, and it was getting dark though, and so I came back the next morning with my DJI Air 2S, and I flew around, basically just scanning rooftops and bushes and sidewalks and roads and everything I could think of, and I couldn't find it anywhere. So I kind of just wrote it off because I was like, it could be literally anywhere with what it was doing when it cut out. It could have just kept going up for all I knew. But anyways, so I wrote it off. I was a little bit disappointed, obviously, but I'll live. So anyways, I kind of just moved on, and somebody told me that I should call the university police and see if they maybe found it. Well, I kind of smirked at that idea at first, but it really was a good idea. I just kind of thought that they wouldn't care. Um, Anyways, so I procrastinated on that. I intended to do it, but I procrastinated on it anyways. And about a week ago, my wife got a text message from one of the university police officers a maintenance person had found my drone on a roof of one of their buildings. And they had used the video to get my license plate and then tracked her down somehow based on that. I don't know how that works, and I didn't want to ask. So I just left it. Anyways, so I went and got it. I was a little bit skeeved. I was like, oh man, they're going to try and mess with me or give me crap for flying recklessly or something. Well, anyways, I went and got it, and they were super chill. They just gave it to me, and that was it. But then I got it back to the house. It had been up there for almost 3 weeks, I think, and it had been there through about 8.5 inches of rain, give or take, and so I was pretty sure it was going to have a lot of problems. And it did have some problems. It still booted up. Not all the motors would boot up at the same time. Like it was kind of like it was shorting a little bit or something, but not enough to like smoke anything. So anyways, so I started poking and prodding at it, and I found a little plug that was not properly seated in the flight controller, and I was like, oh, I'll seat that better. And when I was trying to seat it, it pushed the plug right off the flight controller and just kind of broke it off. And it had really tiny wires. I was super nervous. I ended up breaking it even more, and I ended up Gorilla Gluing it back on and then soldering the tiniest little wires I've ever seen back onto the tiniest little pads. And when I plugged it all in and I loaded up on SpeedyBee, and all the motors seemed to work and stuff, and I flew it and it was great. Even just the few seconds in the garage, I was really stoked. And flying it again just reminded me of how awesome this drone is, and I'm really stoked that I was able to get it done. Yeah, it was just like a huge success for me, and I'm really stoked about it. And now I'm stoked to go back out and fly some more tomorrow. So that's all. Later.